Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that is oftentimes considered to be a bro myth. It's argued about, and something I don't normally always promote as the best method. But let's discuss the actual merits of it and why it might actually be useful for this purpose. And that is the use of high reps for burning fat. Now, normally, you guys know that I normally recommend sticking with fairly low reps, moderately low reps, keeping the weight heavy, just to maintain muscle mass and strength, and then using cardio to help burn through extra calories. That is a very efficient method to do it, lets you keep your strength high, but that is also coming from the perspective of a strength athlete. I like to stay strong year round, keep my maxes as high as possible, even when I'm trying to lose body fat. However, that doesn't mean the other approach doesn't have actual merits and benefits. So what could be the benefits of using the higher reps for it? Very simply, they burn more calories. Also, as long as you aren't losing too much strength, high reps let you get more volume in easier so that you can get more workload in. It can create a more anabolic environment. You can stimulate growth, which will help you hold on to your muscle tissue. It's actually a very effective way to do it. When you're doing really heavy work, for really low reps, you might actually have to get quite a few more sets in order to stimulate the same amount to maintain your muscle mass. And the other thing to consider there is that you're not necessarily losing anything by losing some peak strength by going to the higher reps, because a lot of your peak strength and your power for your 1 rep max is neuromuscular, it's neurological in nature, and that's not going to be as affected as much by your caloric intake and body weight. So what's going to happen is that if you did go to higher reps for a while, you could always get your neural efficiency back within a few weeks' time of training really heavy again for low reps. So it's not you haven't necessarily lost anything that you can't regain. So what it will let you do, though, is do a lot of very anabolic work that will stimulate growth, help you hold on to muscle mass while burning a lot more calories in your weightlifting sessions. Because let's be realistic, 3 sets of 3 on the squats and the deadlifts is simply not going to burn as many calories as doing 5 to 10 sets of 10 reps is going to. And if you're doing the latter, yes, you're going to lose peak strength. You're absolutely going to lose peak strength. Your maxes are all going to go down. Your 3 rep maxes are going to go down, but it will retain just as much muscle mass as doing the lower reps will. So it will actually let you probably do a little less cardio. So it's not unreasonable to think that it's a bad method. And I know people talk about, well, you're burning through a lot of glycogen instead of fat for fuel when you're lifting. Yeah, and that's true. So people who are on lower carb diets, people like me, I'm cutting on lower carbs right now. For me, doing very large amounts of high reps could burn through a lot more glycogen. It could require me to refeed more often than doing the low rep approach I do. But a lot of people cut on moderate or even high carbs. And for people who are doing that, who aren't concerned with maintaining their peak strength, then doing a bunch of sets of 10 or 15 reps, so particularly on their big, heavy compound movements, might actually be a very, very viable method of fat loss. So it goes to show you that all of these things need to be taken into context. They need to be taken into the entirety of what you're doing, what your goals are, and even what your diet and the rest of your lifestyle looks like. Because that can affect oftentimes how effective any given method of training is going to be, whether it's for gaining muscle, gaining strength, or in this case, even losing fat while keeping as much muscle mass as possible. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.